Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm Amanda.
Oh my God, are you okay?
You've defeated her, Frankie.
Are you okay, Amanda?
No, this week has been a really, really rough week.
I'm sorry about that. You just said your name. I don't know where to go from here, actually, now. I don't know how to do the show like this.
I did what you guys wanted.
Yeah, but that's the bit. We want it, but you don't do it.
I don't have enough fight in me anymore. I've been all fought out.
Well then.
It's all because Frankie abandoned me this weekend.
I did not abandon you this weekend.
It is. He abandoned me so bad I called Hannah up.
Wow, that makes me feel really special.
Yeah, that's like, damn, Hannah, how do you feel?
I feel like I was just bulldozed.
No, I'm not gonna get super into it, but for my listeners, my job is a therapist, and sometimes you have really, really rough weeks as a therapist. So I had a pretty rough one, so I didn't want to be alone, and Frankie was busy, quote unquote busy.
Well, don't say quote unquote. That makes it seem like I wasn't actually busy. I was.
So I reached out to Hannah, and me and Hannah had a lovely time. Although, sorry if you can hear Riceball meowing through my door.
I cannot.
She's loud today.
She's been bad today.
She's been real bad today. Although we were gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory, and as soon as we got to Hannah's house, she comes out. She doesn't have any of her bags. I looked at my mom. I was like, is she not staying over? I thought she was staying over. And I was like, I don't know. And so I got out of the car, and she's like, we're eating here. I am currently on a medication that limits my appetite. Very, very much so. Ask Hannah, I really didn't eat anything at all the entire day.
Well, I can't attest to the morning and early afternoon, but you filled up a plate of food, had one bite, and pretty much cried.
The entire time we're eating. Her dad makes roast, and Frankie, you know I love roasts.
I do.
Her dad made roast and mashed potatoes and corn, and it smelled so good. And what does he proceed to do? Tell me about other foods that would be really enjoyable and that he can't wait to make. Meanwhile, I'm watching everybody else stuff their face. I'm hungry but can't physically eat because if I take another bite, I will vomit. It was the hardest thing ever. And I think I started crying.
You were pretty close. That's what you get for being like an hour and a half late.
Hey.
I know. I have to blame the peanut gallery for that.
Yes, you do. Believe me, I can do the whole, we're gonna be late all we want, but unless she gets her high horse rolling, like, it's not happening. So. Plus we had to drop off something at her work, so that was fun. And I had to be, like, nice to her boss. At least I had my makeup done. But we, after we ate, we went back. I stopped at Bath and Body Works.
Oh, no.
It's not that bad.
First of all, we saw a child who looked like a 30-year-old.
Oh,
at the Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, she had, like, a fanny pack and then, like, this, like, was it a Coach purse?
I just saw the fanny pack.
Are you sure it wasn't like a Benjamin Button situation?
I asked.
Hannah asked that.
I flat out asked. I'm like, is that a child or a little person?
She also had, like, a Sephora bag, I think there was a Tiffany's bag there.
Was there a Tiffany's bag? I just saw the Sephora bag and went, oh no, that's a 10-year-old trying to be an adult.
Yeah. So,
I knew this was a child, but I still asked if this was a little person, just in, like, hopes to make myself feel better. That this wasn't a Gen Alpha Sephora kid.
Here's the thing. She had her hair so tight in a bun, she looked like a 40-year-old woman. like styled her.
Maybe a 4-year-old woman did style her.
I know in my heart of hearts that Childs learned how to do hair on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see her turn around.
Who, an angry librarian?
Yeah. I didn't see her turn around, but I knew the moment she turned around she was going to have, like, a full face makeup. Probably better than mine.
It was the clean girl aesthetic. I did see her face.
I did not. I was too busy getting excited about the Disney Princess collection, which they were out of the Tiana and Ariel candles. So I had to settle for an Ariel perfume and a Tiana foaming thing. Hand soap thingy. But I got Cinderella, I got Moana, I got Belle, and I got Jasmine.
Can I be honest right now?
Mm-hmm.
The Disney Princess collection kind of sucks. I don't like any of the scents other than Tiana.
Yeah, but you also don't like flower scents.
Because it was overwhelmingly rose perfumey.
Cinderella was gardenias.
Oh, I thought that was just old lady powder.
No.
Ooh, my favorite scent.
Hannah just doesn't like floral fragrances.
I'm not a huge fan of floral fragrances either.
I much rather would smell like citrus.
I like citrus. I'm a big fruit fan. Big fruit guy.
I like fruit and I like gourmand scents, but honestly, if you look at my candle collection, I have candles of all different types.
You have a candle that smells like NHL ice.
What does that smell like?
I have a Scentsy bar that smells like NHL ice.
Give me the scent notes right now.
Have you ever smelled ice, Hannah?
Yes.
Imagine that, but with the sweat and blood of Canadians.
That's not what it smells like. Hold on, let me.
So by blood you mean maple syrup.
Alright, it is, give me the scent notes. Cold air and icy mint face off at full strength while a slapshot of sandalwood brings home the win.
I've never been to a hockey game and go, yeah, I smell mint and sandalwood.
I'm down with the mint. I love mint.
Hannah, you would like the smell, I think.
I probably would because it's mint.
We should, I've said this before, but now that I'm getting my room in order, we should go through, like, a bonus video type thing. All of my scents.
For the YouTube audience. Yeah, you said this before.
Yeah, and I would love to do it.
Fine. 2-year anniversary.
That's so far away. And you already are going to be here for like 40 hours. You really want to give me another year to build up more?
Well, you're going to do it one way or the other.
Oh, she's got a point.
Maybe by then we'll be making some money from the pod, and then Hannah and I will bring weird scents for you to trick you.
Oh, that would actually be really fun. By the way, Hannah saw my body butter pantry.
I saw the pantry repurposed into body butter holders.
Yeah, what did we think of it?
It was very nice. Because she put recessed lighting into it.
It's remote controlled.
And it changes colors, and she has everything in alphabetical order.
I take it very seriously. Do you want me to send you a picture? I'll send you a picture.
You know what annoys me, though?
What?
About your cabinet. You have one too many scents. Because Zuko is on top of another scent.
Oh, that's because I haven't put the new risers in.
Oh, okay. It annoyed me. It annoyed me last night when I looked at it.
Yeah, the lower ones are only using like old wooden tier shelves that I just had lying around. The top shelf, and I think like the top 2 shelves have the new acrylic stands that I just bought, but the bottom shelf was using the wooden stand until I got them in. But I did get them in, and they are built. I just didn't get them switched by the time he came.
Okay.
Hannah watched the Jon Stewart wrestling politics thingy. Talk about that.
Yes, Amanda had me watch parts of The Daily Show last night before we watched Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay. What did you think of The Daily Show.
Listen, I have to listen to Fox News in my house.
To a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
She did say, while I'm waiting for this to send, she did say that she can't see The Rock as a villain.
I've said that before.
I mean, he is a villain. Although he hasn't been on TV for a while.
He only does the big shows.
Well, he was on TV a lot last year for the build-up to WrestleMania. He hasn't been on TV since.
Is he filming a film?
The turn. I don't know what he's doing. He might be. I have no idea. But John Cena was, and he broke up with all of us. So we've all been dumped this week.
John Cena broke up with us?
John Cena broke up with all of us because he said in his promo that for the past 25 years that he's been wrestling, he's been part of a toxic relationship. And
with us?
With the
I didn't know I was in a relationship with John Cena. I have so many questions.
It's been a toxic relationship with the fans who want him to act like their puppet with a smile on his face. So he broke up with all of us, and he singled out one. This was a show in Spain, I think. He singled out one little Spanish kid and called him a son of a bitch.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh my god, damn! He specifically pointed out this one kid who was wearing John Cena gear. It was like, oh no, this poor kid.
What do all the poor Make-A-Wish kids think right now?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That's what I want to see. I want to see the evil promo of John Cena turning on the Make-A-Wish kids.
People would get cancer just to meet John Cena.
He came out and everyone, because he's a bad guy for the first time since his debut, and he came out and everyone was like, oh, he's going to have new gear and he's going to have a new song. And he came out to the old song. Yeah, he came out to the regular song and his regular gear, and he was like, you guys all thought that you would get new gear and a new song, but you get nothing because you get exactly what you deserve. It was great. It was phenomenal.
Is he okay? Is he having
Well, it's his last thing.
This is his last year, so he's retiring at the end of the year. And everyone thought it was going to be this oh yay, the John Cena retirement tour. We're all going to be so happy, and he's going to do some really fun matches with old opponents and new guys he's never wrestled before. And then he turned heel, and everyone's like, oh no, we're getting evil John Cena.
Is he okay?
Oh no, it's great. We love evil John Cena because evil John Cena is just regular John Cena because, I mean, obviously he probably does care about his fans quite a lot, but in the 2010s, they did a TV show called Total Divas.
Yes.
Which was a reality show.
Yeah.
And John Cena was on it because he was dating one of the women on Total Divas. And he is such a, I've been watching it because one of my podcasts does a recap show of it now. And when Nikki Bella moved in, he had a 75-page contract outlining her status as a guest in his home.
It'd be like, no, I'm gonna go back to my apartment. No, thank you.
And she cooked him dinner one night, and he freaked out about how it might leave a mess.
Okay, this is a lot of red flags.
And he's such a weird human being.
But everybody loves him.
Wasn't he in the Fred movie?
He was Fred's dad.
Okay.
He's Fred's dad?
I'm pretty sure he was Fred's dad, yeah.
Canonically as himself, or just a different wrestler?
I don't remember. It's been a long time. His name was Padre de Fred, I think.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Why is The Rock evil now?
Because this was 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, last year, at WrestleMania. Everyone wanted Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 2, where Cody would finally win the title from Roman. And then on a episode of SmackDown, The Rock came out, or Cody won the Royal Rumble, and the winner of the Royal Rumble gets a guaranteed main event title match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And then that next episode of SmackDown, The Rock comes out And The Rock is like, he says that him and Cody have come to an arrangement where he is going to take the main event from Cody and he's going to face Roman. And the fans were like really upset about this. And then, so no one knows if this was like all storyline or that was the actual plan, and then they reversed course because the fans hated it. But then Cody's like, no, I'm gonna take my shot. And so The Rock was like, well, you're stupid. You'll never be able to beat Roman Reigns because he's part of my family, and my family is the greatest wrestling family ever.
Okay.
And he turned heel, and he would like brutally attack Cody Rhodes, and he said he was gonna beat the shit out of him in front of Cody's mom at WrestleMania, and he would wear a weight belt that said Mama Rhodes on it, and beat Cody with it.
Is Roman a bad guy now?
He was then. He's not now. He's a good guy now.
So he's gone against The Rock?
Well, The Rock hasn't really interacted with the Bloodline in a while. The Rock's been interacting with Cody, and he came back and he told Cody that he wanted to buy Cody's soul.
I saw that.
And then at Elimination Chamber, Cody said, Rock, go fuck yourself.
And then hugged John Cena, and John Cena got...
Yeah, and that's where the whole thing where John Cena turned on him.
Yeah, the nut shot.
And then, for some reason, Travis Scott was there.
Why was Travis Scott there?
Travis Scott just, like, you know, he goes to WWE shows as, like, a celebrity here, as a celebrity at the show. But also, he just happened to be in the ring at that moment. It was really weird to see this really big wrestling moment where John Cena hasn't been a heel since his original run, since a year into his original run. And then Travis Scott is there, just hanging out in the corner.
So why did John Cena turn heel and go with The Rock?
Because he's sick of the fans. He was saying how everything he does is never good enough for the fans. Like when he first debuted, as a good guy, the fans booed him, and so he changed his character and became someone the fans liked, and it wasn't enough. So he went back and he worked hard and he kept winning and winning and winning, and still the fans hated him and it wasn't enough. So then he spent the next 10 years getting better at the job and doing everything the fans wanted him to do, and they still hated him. And so the fans never gave him the respect he thought he deserved.
Even though he was in a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
Even though he has granted the most Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, see now we're getting into the divide of different kinds of wrestling fans. So when John Cena comes out, if you're watching a John Cena match from like 2008 until let's say about 2016, probably, you'll hear two distinct sounds when his music hits. You'll hear high-pitched screaming, which is the kids and the women cheering Cena on. You'll then hear very deep booing, which is all of the men booing John Cena. And the fans online used to always be like, oh, John Cena can't wrestle. John Cena hasn't earned anything that he's been given. He's been shoved down our throats. We don't want him anymore. Why do they keep having him win? People really hated John Cena for a long time.
Why? Did you?
No, I always have liked John Cena. I've always thought John Cena was great.
Is he objectively a good wrestler?
He didn't used to be. He's gotten way better.
Okay.
He still does some things that are like, but if we're comparing like faces of companies, he's distinctly better than Hulk Hogan ever was.
I would agree.
Well, yeah. WWE.
My other question is, do you still think, even though he turns heel, do you still think, like, there's, like, the good part of John Cena that's, like, going and meeting Make-A-Wish kids?
Oh, probably. I mean, that's all, like, by request. Like, I don't know if kids are going to request him anymore. I think that's one of the reasons why he agreed to do the heel turn, is that, not that, like, no one's requesting him, because he's still, like, he's granted the most wishes in the history of Make-A-Wish.
Right.
But more that his requests have slowed down and other wrestlers are getting more of the requests. So I think he thought, now I can do it. That was one of the reasons that he didn't turn heel, even though like there had been a lot of opportunities for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple times that people thought it was going to happen and it never did and one of the reasons why was because he didn't want to stop them doing the Make-A-Wish stuff.
Oh. So he's just a good guy underneath everything. So do you think
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah. Do you think at the end of his run he's going to like turn face again?
I do. I think he will. I mean, it's a great story where like I want him to win the title because if he wins the world title at Mania, and I don't know when this episode comes out, but this probably comes out after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to win the world title because if he wins the world title, he'll have the recognized record for the most world titles as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's Ric Flair who has that with 16.
Oh, yeah, give it to Cena, please. Sorry.
Well, he's tied for the record. Cena and Flair both have 16 recognized world title reigns, so if he wins it, he'd hold the record on his own, 17. There's also this really interesting idea, like story now, that if he loses the title, or loses the match and doesn't win the title, you have this really cool story of he sold his soul to The Rock and the corporate structure of WWE and turned his back on the fans. And now it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
He failed to get the title. So where does he go from there? And then he realizes he should have turned his back at all and he turns good again. I think no matter what, he'll turn good again. I just think if he loses the title, it's a little more interesting.
Can I give you my Raiders perspective?
Yes.
I don't know the exact storyline. I literally just know what you've told me. I don't know when any of these matches are to take place. But as a Raider, I would make it, he's like a double agent.
A double agent? Oh,
yeah.
He's a spy.
Yeah.
Who would he be double agent
with The Rock, but...
For Cody, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would that work, Hannah?
I don't know, because I don't know this story.
So, do you think that Cody and him, like, are you saying that... Yeah. Are you saying that it was planned that Cody was going to get nutshotted by John Cena, and he was like, it's okay, do what you gotta do, because you'll be The Rock's inside man?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
We'll go with that. Would be, from a Raiders perspective, that is what I would want to do.
Hannah, I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
I would hate that. That's
you
the
would
worst
hate that
option I've heard.
Wow.
I would honestly hate that. That would suck. They've done, that's too many swerves.
Yeah, but this is wrestling.
Wrestling does throw a lot of swerves.
Wrestling does throw a lot of swerves, but sometimes the best wrestling is when you just get the right story.
You're saying my story isn't the right story.
No.
That's
exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
Do you want to throw down?
I don't want to throw down. Can we
Wow.
instead talk about another not right story?
No, I want to throw down with Frankie in the Denny's parking lot.
We can do that after we record.
I'm putting pause on this before I get into it, because it is my episode. Frankie, I did send you a picture of the body butter cabinet.
I did see the body butter cabinet.
Thoughts?
I mean, it's nice. It's a picture though, so I don't think it does it justice.
You're right, and the lights aren't on in the picture.
Yeah. I was told about lights. There's no lights.
Alright, so, we watched a movie.
It is a movie.
That is, yeah. That's the thing we all did.
The movie that we watched, part of the Disney, what is this series? Sure.
It's Disney hell right now.
Shut up. So, we watched So Dear to My Heart, which is a 1948 American live-action animated comedy drama film. It was produced by Walt Disney and released by RKO Pictures. Its world premiere was in Chicago, Illinois on November 29th, 1948. Like 1946's Song of the South, the film combines animation and live action. It's based on the 1943 Sterling North book, Midnight and Jeremiah.
I
The
really
book
hope
was
the book was better than this.
the book was revised by North to parallel the film's storyline amendments, and then reissued under the same title as the film. The
What
film was
storyline? I'm sorry, what? The guy rewrote the book to match the movie?
yeah.
That's insane.
The film was a personal favorite of Walt Disney since it recreated on film one of the most memorable times of his life, growing up on a small farm in the American Midwest at the turn of the 20th century. Walt said, end quote, "So Deer was especially close to me. Why, that's the life my brother and I grew up as kids out in Missouri." Walt had intended that this would be the first all-live-action Disney feature film, but his distributor, RKO, convinced him that when audience saw the word Disney, they expected animation. Thus, they split the difference.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. So Dear to My Heart was the final film appearance of Harry Carey. He was the head judge at the county fair. Let's look at some awards and honors. The film was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song for Burl Ives' version of the 17th century English folk song Lavender Blue.
I'm sorry. What was the award there?
Best Original Song.
Best Original Song. Okay.
I know.
It was a 1770s song, you say?
17th century.
Oh, okay.
English folk song. But it lost to Baby It's Cold Outside from Neptune's Daughter.
Oh, an original song. Shock.
We'll say Disney does have a big to do with Lavender Blue, because this is not the last time we will hear the song. It is in the live action Cinderella.
Oh, so in 90 years when we get to that.
Yeah.
When everyone has forgotten about So Dear to My Heart.
I love Lavender Blue. I was a Girl Scout counselor, and it was one of my favorite, camp songs to sing with kids.
I can't even tell you what song this is supposed to be.
I don't know either, but I think maybe I'm gonna, when I hear it, when we get to Cinderella, when we're all in the nursing home together, and we listen we watch the live action Cinderella and we hear Lavender Blue, you think we'll have, traumatic flashbacks to watching this movie?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I will.
It's such a good song, and Hannah, do you not know which song it was?
I really don't.
It was the one where the grandma and Burl Ives were singing while they were in a rocking chair. Across from one another.
Yeah, I didn't pay much attention to that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was half asleep watching this.
Whatever.
That's the best state to watch this in.
I'll leave. And
You
it's my
exhausted
episode.
me last night. It was exhausting drinking wine and watching better films.
Anyway, Bobby Driscoll received a special juvenile award from the Academy, honoring him as the outstanding juvenile actor of 1949.
I really hate the word juvenile.
It's bad, right? It feels weird.
I don't have a good reason. I just don't like it.
I agree with you, Hannah.
Thank you.
In addition to So Dear to My Heart, he garnered critical acclaim for his dramatic performance in the RKO melodrama The Window. Sure.
Is he trapped in a window?
I don't know. It's not a Disney film,
Is
so
it
we're
the
not going to watch
prequel
it.
to Rear Window?
Fine. Let me click on The Window.
Anything to avoid talking about this movie.
Alright, so The Window is a 1949 American black and white film noir based on the short story Boy Who Cried Murder. It has been reprinted as The Fire Escape by Cornell Woolrich, about a lying boy who witnessed a killing but is not believed. The film, a critical success that was shot on location in New York City, was produced by Frederick Altman Jr. And was a box office hit for RKO Pictures.
God, that one sounds so good.
Yeah, I would much rather watch The Window.
Back to this. So, production. The only thing that there's notes in this Wikipedia page, the only thing here on production is the train depot in the film was later relocated to Ward Kimball Grizzly Flats Railroad in his backyard. Ward Kimball's backyard. After the railroad closed, John Lasseter relocated it to Justy Creek Railway, which is now a winery.
Can I get wine drunk and ride the choo-choo train?
I don't know if you could. Probably. The critical response. Film critic Bosley Crowther wrote on the New York Times that, quote, a little aphoristic fantasy has the imagination and special charm which the film, in general, lacks. For, with all its innocence and simplicity, which are commendable on the modern screen, so dear to my heart is not distinguished by its story or cinematic style. It is just a pleasant fiction for kiddies who fancy lively pets, and for old sirs who like the vision of childhood in illusionary kerosene lamp glow.
Yeah, that's it. That's the podcast episode.
Yeah, you've described the movie perfectly.
So, the release. The film returned rentals to RKO by 1951 of $2,775,000, with $2,200,000 being generated in the U.S. and Canada. The film was re-released in 1964 and earned an estimated $1.5 million in rentals in the U.S. and Canada. So Dear to My Heart was released on home video in 1986. It was then re-released in 1992 and released on video in 1994 as part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. The film was originally planned for a U.S. DVD release as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection, but was canceled, with no particular reason given. 6 years after seeing a Region 2 DVD release, it was released in the U.S. on DVD in July 2008 as part of the Disney Movie Club exclusive. The only other thing that I have here to note, before we get into the plot of this film, is in the DVD's bonus material, it stated that the former Frontierland station is the exact replica of the railroad station built for So Dear to My Heart, and it remains in Disneyland today, although it now belongs to New Orleans Square instead of Frontierland. The original prop ended up in the hands of Disney animator Ward Kimball, which he used for the Grizzly Flats Railroad. The station would later be acquired by the former Pixar film director John Lasseter, then moving to his private Justy Creek Railway, which is the winery. So let's talk about this film. So this film opens up after the credits, as normal movies for this time. After the credits, it opens up with a book. We've seen books before.
I've seen a lot of books. I can read.
I meant books opening stories in movies. It is a scrapbook.
Oh, so it's a different kind of book.
Yeah, it is a different kind of book. It is a scrapbook. Now, as somebody who used to scrapbook when I was a kid, I thought you normally, put pictures.
I don't know. This kid's scrapbook sucks.
Yeah.
I would call this more junk journaling.
I was going
but
to
not
say,
to the level of the ASMR TikTokers.
Right. Yeah, it definitely feels like junk journaling or like dream journaling. Or just honestly, it feels like really shitty collage. So after we go through a nice little song, while we're flipping through this scrapbook, we see that we're on a farm, and we have a narrator. Apparently this narrator is the older version of Jeremiah, who is the main character of the story. Oh, I didn't go over the cast! Oh no, crap, I should do that real quick.
Oh no,
We already said the main kid's name. That's the only person who matters.
No. So the cast...
No, we gotta talk about shitty grandma.
Yeah. Bobby Driscoll as Jeremiah Jerry Kincaid. Luana Patton as Tildy. Burl Ives as Uncle Hiram Douglas. Burl Ives, we all know who Burl Ives is, right? He's the snowman from Rudolph.
It's weird seeing him as a real person and not a snowman. I wasn't particularly a fan of seeing him as not a snowman.
Really?
I'd prefer to see him as, it's not that, I'm not calling him ugly, I'm just saying, you know what, I know you as a snowman, and I prefer,
How dare you be a real human?
if he had been a snowman in this movie, I might have liked the movie a little better. To be fair.
Alright.
That might have helped my enjoyment.
Burl Ives as Uncle Hiram Douglas, Beulah Bondi as Granny Kincaid, Harry Carey as the head judge at the county fair, Raymond Bond as Pete Grundy, storekeeper. By the way, when I heard the name Mr. Grundy, all I thought of was Solomon Grundy. More than a money. Because, you know, I've been playing Batman.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr.
Walter...
Grundy is the only one that was in a scene that made me laugh, so I'll give him some credit.
Alright. Walter Soderling as Grandpa Meeker?
Who?
Grandpa Meeker.
There was a grandpa?
I guess.
I thought Grandma was a single grandma.
I don't think he was Jeremiah's grandpa.
He's just the town's grandpa.
Yeah, I think he was the old guy playing chess with Mr. Grundy at that one
so
point.
He's the guy that made me laugh. Alright. I like him then. Best character in the movie. I didn't know he had a name.
Matt Willis as Mr. Burns, the horse trainer. Smellman.
Is that the sheep?
No. Spellman B. Collins as just judge. And Bobby Hames as singer Bobby Hames.
What was the sheep's name?
Hold on.
Danny.
The sheep isn't listed in the cast.
That is rude.
John Beale, these are voices now. John Beale as adult Jeremiah and narrator. Ken Carson as the owl. Bob Stanton as Danny, the voice of Danny, not the sheep.
This would be a really weird movie.
If he was the sheep?
Yeah.
Marion Darlington as the whistling sound effects.
Good for her.
Thurl Ravenscroft as the bull and Robert Bruce.
What a cool name that was.
Thurl Ravenscroft?
Yeah.
You don't know this man?
No. What a cool name.
I assume he's related to the role Tim Curry played in Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Guys, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. Thurl Ravenscroft is huge in Disney. So, number one, before we even get into some Disney, he is the original voice of Tony the Tiger.
Dope.
Cool.
He also sings You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, from the original television special. That deep voice.
So he gets even better.
Yeah. He also did voiceover work and singing for Disney in various films and Disneyland attractions. He's in the Haunted Mansion as the ghost host. He's the Country Bear Jamboree. He's on the Mark Twain Riverboats. He's in Pirates of the Caribbean. He's on the Disneyland Railroad. And he's in the Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room. I
like this guy. Can we just talk about him all night?
Yeah, hold on. He appeared as the voice of Monstro the Whale in Pinocchio.
We've already seen him then.
Yeah. He was the singer for Look Out for Mr. Stork and Pink Elephants on Parade in Dumbo. In Saludos Amigos, he was the singer of the main title theme. In Melody Time, he was also a singer. He will be in Alice in Wonderland, in Peter Pan, in Lady and the Tramp, in Sleeping Beauty, in 101 Dalmatians, in The Sword and the Stone, in Mary Poppins, in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, obviously, in The Jungle Book, in Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Horton Hears a Who, as the Wickersham brother.
So he's just in everything.
Yeah. The Aristocats as Billy Bass. The Cat in the Hat as Thing 1. Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Snoopy Come Home. The Lorax. Halloween is Grinch Night. Damn right. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July as the Genie of the Ice Scepter. Brave Little Toaster as Kirby. Disney sing-along songs, Disneyland Fun. He's one of the singers of the Grim Grinning Ghosts. That's also in the ride. He's in Brave Little Toaster and the Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue and the Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. Both as Kirby. Sorry, I lied. He is not the voice of the ghost host. He's Uncle Theodore, who sings Grim Grinning Ghosts. I apologize.
I've been lied to. I've been deceived.
No, who's the voice of the ghost host? And I know it, and I need to know, because I'll lose it. Oh, it's Paul Frees. Should have known that. I'm upset with myself. Anyway, you got me distracted. Where was I? I was in the cast. Thurl Ravencroft. Clarence Nash. We've had Clarence Nash before as vocal sound effects, and the Rhythm Maries? Sure, as vocal ensemble and the Bluebirds. Alright, so, we're in a town. It's like a small town. It's in Pike County, around Pike County. So we're looking at like Indiana, the state of Indiana, 1903. And we first see a train coming into the town and it's stopping. And it stops to let this horse out of the train car and to let it walk around. This horse is Dan Patch. It's a world famous racehorse, I guess. I don't know. Will say there's some racism here.
By the way, we just want to let everyone know, this film, not on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that.
No content warning for us.
If it was on Disney Plus.
It's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah. If it was on Disney Plus, 100% it would get a content warning because there are two African American men who are doing the brunt labor of getting the horse out of the train car. So anyway, this horse's name, Dan Patch, and I guess I really wanted to call him Bobby because that's his actor's name. Jeremiah, or Jerry, was really interested in him. He's supposed to be interested, but he's just like a stupid kid eating an apple staring at him. I guess one of the horse's shoes need fixed, so they ask if anybody can fix it, and Uncle Hiram, the snowman, he says, I'll fix it. And at the end of this, the guy's like, what do I owe you? And Uncle Hiram is just like, I'll just take this nail. Take some money, my guy. Take some money. Oh, I almost forgot about the worm thing. The horse wants, and it is a cute horse, I will say that. The horse wants the apple that Jerry is holding. But before he gives the horse the apple, the guy's like, it's not wormy, is it? You gotta make sure. So.
The child can eat the worms, but not this $1,000 horse.
Right, yeah. It just seemed like a dumb question to me, but okay. So with that nail that he got from Uncle Hiram, he fashioned it into a ring. The most uncomfortable looking ring I've ever seen.
Also, can't wear that ring when he gets older.
Why?
He's a little tiny child.
Won't fit.
Oh, right.
I would desperately love to finish talking about this movie.
Right.
Why? We've only been on this call for almost an hour.
That's precisely why. And I gave you some.
That's why,
time,
and that's true. That's why, and this movie, much like when we watched Boo Brothers, made me ill.
Anyway, so it's nighttime and Jerry can't sleep, and his granny is doing something with a wheel, the spinning wheel. So they're talking, going back and forth, and then finally he's just like, hey, do you think the lambs have been born? Completely off topic. Oh, I remember what they were talking about. They were talking about the fact that she has a mule that she used to help plow the fields. He's like, do you think we could trade in that mule, the thing that we've had forever and has been really reliable, for like a nice mare? No. And Grandma was like, no. It's a fair statement. So anyway, he asks how the lambs have been doing, and Grandma, Granny, whatever, is just like, they'll be, born when they're good and ready. And then she's like, I probably should check on them. So yelled at him and then thought about it afterwards. So he goes out with Granny, and guess what? The lambs have been born.
They're very clean.
They are very clean for lambs that have just been born.
It was a clean birth. No fluids were involved.
So one of the sheep, her name is Jezebel, gives birth to twins. One is a little white lamb, and one of them is a little black lamb. And oh my fucking god, this little thing, he was so cute. Hannah, back me up here.
He was. The lamb was very cute. The animals in this film are very cute. It is what made this film slightly enjoyable.
They were so cute.
But
And
I do think it switches out to a puppet.
I don't think it does.
I think it does.
I don't think it does, Hannah.
Okay. It looks like a puppet once it gets taken inside the house.
I think that's just a lamb. The little boy, Jerry, he takes to the little black lamb right away, and is like holding it and cradling it, as you would. He goes to give it to his mom, and his mom just fucking rejects it and starts bucking it. This made me worried for the lamb. I think this is a puppet because they didn't want the lamb to get hurt.
Well, yes.
When it's bucking it. But I was offended. So. And the grandma, did I say that the grandma doesn't like the sheep because it's black?
You did now.
She doesn't. She looks at it and she's like, oh, black sheep. I don't like black wool. Why? Do you know how rare black wool is nowadays, I think? Not rare, but I think it's worth more than regular wool. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so...
Damn, now we're gonna have all the economists coming at us, talking about black wool prices.
Whatever. So Jerry's like, so what are we gonna do if the mom doesn't feed it? And the grandma's like, well, it's gonna die. That was kind of what she said. Maybe a little bit nicer terms.
She said, child, we live on a farm.
It's God's will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to learn sometime. So the kid, as I think all three of us would do, takes the lamb inside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frankie?
It's a house lamb now.
I would take it inside the house up to a point.
That is a house lamb.
It hit my point almost immediately.
What was the point? Well, we'll get to it.
You mean when it's suddenly a full-grown sheep?
When it's suddenly a full-grown sheep breaking doors.
It's
It's gotta go outside then.
Just a screen.
Yeah, it's just a screen door. My cats have broken screen doors before. So, the grandma is complaining about keeping a sheep or whatever, but she does kind of relent. However, I think she lets a thing slip that's no animal's gonna stay here unless they earn their keep. And, the little boy's just how the fuck is a sheep gonna have to earn their keep? And he thinks about, the horse and how, horse wins races. If a horse won a race, grandma would keep it. Well, what do sheep have to win? They have to win the county fair prizes. So the sheep has got to win the county fair prize, or else grandma's gonna get rid of the sheep. Right? They bottle feed it, despite grandma's complaining. And we see this little boy scrapbooking, and we see a cute little lamb, and it becomes a little animated song and feature. And yeah, so they sing all about, I forget what the song's about.
It slaps.
Does
that
it?
part slaps. I like that part. I love the animated parts. Everything else sucks.
The animated sheep was really cute.
The animated sheep, the little baby and black sheep, yeah, very, very cute. I forget what the song's name is. Hold on.
I don't.
Was this the biblical one?
No, this is the wisdom one. This is the wisdom book, where the owl goes to the wisdom book and then just says a bunch of cliche sayings.
Okay.
Yeah. It's what you do with what you got. That's what it is. So it was a song all about that. It was very cute. David and Goliath is mentioned.
That owl comes back, by the way. Everyone, remember the owl. Well,
Remember the
not in our
owl.
time. He won't be in anything we watch. But
Right.
he would host this. The owl would host the sing along videos.
You're correct.
I fucking loved those videos.
You wonder where he came from? This is where he came from.
He really upgraded.
So eventually, towards the end of the song, the black sheep starts like breaking shit. He breaks the wall of Jericho at one point. He breaks a bunch of shit, bunch of flowers, a hay bin thing, just fucking up everything. Breaks through a fence, and as he breaks through the fence, we see the actual grown sheep break through the screen door. Which is Frankie's last straw, apparently.
He's causing property damage, you know.
I want everybody to know. I texted Hannah and Frankie, why am I so attached to this sheep?
Is it
Frankie,
because it
what did
acts
you
like
respond?
you?
Yeah, a
My
little bit.
my response was, boy oh boy, do we have different feelings about this lamb.
I love this little sheep.
This lamb does nothing but cause trouble.
Nah, he's good. So, Grandma, the sheep is full grown. Grandma yells at the boy because he's been neglecting his chores to take care of the sheep because he loves the sheep so much. I don't know why, but the sheep escapes its pen and wants to go out because the boy was going to go to the general store for something. And the boy ends up taking the sheep to the general store, takes the sheep inside of the general store.
This fucking kid sucks.
The sheep also breaks the screen door in the general store.
And apparently breaks the store.
Yeah. Although, if we listen to how the boy tells it, the son of the store owner of Grundy, he shot a BB at the lamb's butt, or the sheep's butt, and it got startled and broke some eggs, and then that set off a chain reaction of, like, the guy tripping over the eggs and busting, like, flour and blah, blah, blah. So it's all this guy's son's fault. Though I will say, probably wouldn't have happened if he would have just, tied the sheep to the railing.
I have a question. If the plural of goose is geese,
Oh my god.
why isn't a singular sheep called a shoop?
You're a
I'm
writer.
about to get kicked out.
You write things for a living, right? Is that just want to ask that question? Okay. It's good to know.
I have a degree in English literature.
Fantastic.
Anyway, boy gets in trouble, and he goes to his Uncle Hiram, who's, like, this boy's biggest supporter. And I also think he's, like, the father of Tildy. I think.
I thought Uncle Hiram was her uncle.
Maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. But he seems to be taking care of Tildy more than Grandma takes care of Tildy, so. And I think Tildy lives with Uncle Hiram. So Uncle Hiram basically says, hey, you wanna get this sheep to earn its keep, you're gonna have to enter it into a county fair, kind of things that we already know already. We then fast forward a little bit more, where the sheep's just a little bit bigger, and it has a wagon tied to it. And as Uncle Hiram's coming to bring back the newly fixed door, the sheep comes tearing through with the wagon and just destroying everything. How did you feel about this, Franklin? He also breaks the screen door again.
It was even worse, but I think this is also when I started getting sick. I had a headache and was feeling nauseous. At this point. I think the movie did me in. Because I felt fine before I started watching the movie, and then I started watching the movie. Guess what? I'm not fine anymore.
You didn't like when the Shoop caused property damage?
You've got to stop this now. Immediately.
Yeah, I like it. I like Shoop. I'm gonna call it the Shoop from now on.
I'm gonna die.
Isn't there a song called Shoop by Salt and Peppa? Is that what the song's about?
It's about this little Shoop.
This show's gonna kill me.
Shoop de doop. Alright. Anyway, Grandma's had it up to here, and she's like, we're getting rid of this guy's coming, and he's gonna take the sheep to a nice little home. And she's saying this in the middle of the night. She's talking while the boy's room is up in the attic. He doesn't answer her at one point, so she goes up to check, and he's gone. So she goes and checks the barn, and he's cuddling with the sheep, which I guess means that she can't in good conscience get rid of the sheep because he's sleeping and cuddling with this sheep. And it's a very cute thing. It makes me kind of want a Shoop.
I just thought of this. But if this house catches on fire and he's upstairs, he's dead. Because his stairway ladder is one of the fold-out ones.
Maybe they're hoping the whoosh, the breeze that comes from sending the ladder down will put out the fire.
Whatever. Anyway, so the kids are talking with Uncle Hiram in the next scene about how Granny's uptight and she won't shill out money to go to the fair or whatever. So they try to appease her? Is that the right word?
Try to bribe her.
Yeah, a little bit. So the kids wash all of the dishes. Meanwhile, Uncle Hiram starts singing a song, Lavender Blue. And Grandma very much likes this song. At one point after the song is over, Hiram then challenges her to a dance-off. And she kicks Hiram's ass. And then she's just like, hey, I know what y'all were fucking trying to do. Nice try. You can go to the fair if you earn money. And Uncle Hiram's like, well, I can loan you the money. She's like, no, Kincaid's, we don't spend money that we don't have. So, it's up to the little boy to earn money. He does so by selling a bunch of sassafras sticks.
And this is where we get the best scene in the whole film.
Hold on, I'm not done. Before we see him selling the sassafras sticks, I forgot to mention there is another animated scene where this owl sings about great people, I guess. One of these great people is Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus was really threatening in this.
Yeah, he did look a little scary.
And he had a really deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
No. Didn't like the combination.
Yeah, so he sings about Christopher Columbus, and then he also sings about Robert Bruce, who was a king of Scotland, and Thurl Ravencroft. Apparently, this guy was watching a Scottish spider. This is a spider in a kilt.
I love that spider.
Yeah, I very much appreciated him.
I'm gonna be honest, I missed that it was Robert Bruce. I thought it was William Wallace the whole time.
Really? No,
I think Bruce. William Wallace would have made more sense.
Yeah, people know who William Wallace is. Who the fuck is Robert Bruce?
Why don't you look it up, Frankie?
I'll do that later.
I'm gonna look it up now, then.
Please don't. No, we've got to finish this. This episode's gonna be longer than the movie.
Alright, just real quick from what I see, he was the King of Scots from 1306 until his death in 1329. He led Scotland during the First War of the Scottish Independence against the English. He fought successfully during his reign to restore Scotland to an independent kingdom and is regarded in Scotland as a national hero. Alright, well that makes a lot of sense. So we see that animated thing, and then we see the boy selling sassafras sticks. So he goes into the general store, and Grundy and I guess this grandpa that we just found out was a grandpa, are playing checkers. Frankie, would you like to tell this scene and your favorite scene? Because apparently
I love this.
Yeah, okay.
This is the only part that made me laugh. When Jeremiah is selling the sassafras sticks to Mr. Grundy.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Grundy, they go up to the counter to like negotiate the price and give the money out and talk about like what would be a better price, what would fetch him more money.
Mm-hmm.
While this is all happening, the grandpa who he's playing checkers with moves the pieces around so he can win. And so when Grundy comes back, he moves his piece and he's like, "Yes, look at what I've done." And then he didn't think ahead though, and so Grundy fucking immediately beats him because he put all of his pieces in position to get jump one right after the other. It was fucking great.
And that's what got you?
It was so funny because that grandpa it was funny just watching him try to cheat. Like, just watching him cheat the first time was really funny. And then the fact that it didn't work out and he lost because he was so self-satisfied. The little smirk that man had on his face.
Do you think this is where they got inspiration for that one Pixar short that was that played right before Bug's Life of the old guy
playing chess
playing...
against himself?
Yeah.
Maybe. I hope so. That was good. That was so good. I love that scene, and everything else from the movie, like, never reached that height.
Alright. Anyway. So, after Grundy gives him, like, the money for the sassafras sticks, this girl comes in and is like, "Hey, do you have any wild honey?" And he's like, "No, I haven't had wild honey in the store for 3 years. Can't find it anywhere." And then Grundy looks at the boy and he's like, "If you get wild honey, I'll pay you, what was it? Like $10 a pound?"
$10 a pound. Damn, that's
Yeah.
expensive for some fucking honey.
Yeah. So the boy goes running off, and the grandpa was like, "You think you sure as hell like wasting that boy's time?" And he's like, "Well, boy's time is meant to be wasted." And then proceeds to win. I'm not gonna go into this in much detail. The boy's basically, he pokes a bee with a stick and then follows this bee to a swamp to find this honey tree, and they're out for a really long time, but eventually they find it because a bird that eats bees led them there.
At one point,
yeah,
they see a dead cow.
they do see a dead cow.
And the girl goes, "How did it die?" And I put, "The cow died because it heard it was being cast in this movie."
Frankie. Will say, I love that this little girl just looks so dirty and like torn up by the end of this day. She's just sitting on a log, just pissed off at this boy, like, why did I go along with this? I was really worried though, because they were going into like swampland. I was like, oh fuck, one of these kids is gonna fucking drown.
I was waiting
I thought
for
they were
like
going
a
to get
peat
killed by the
bog.
bees.
Nope, they did
You
not.
were waiting for what, Hannah?
A peat bog. Like in Ireland. I
Where
thought
there's,
that
like,
she was gonna become a bog mummy.
Yeah.
That
Really,
would have been a turn in the film.
I was waiting for it. I got flashbacks to like Bridge of Terabithia. I also got flashbacks from like that one short story about a neighbor who lets his other neighbor borrow his wheelbarrow and like continues to like let him borrow stuff until he like drowns in a bog. I think it's by like Nathaniel Hawthorne. Something. Anyway, so they get the honey and they sell the honey. He gets $22 for this honey. And
the grossest looking honey I've ever fucking seen.
That's
and
what
then
wild
a
honey
child
like.
falls in it.
It looked like they dumped some sewage in a bucket.
Yeah. So as they're like leaving the general store, this one bully boy makes fun of our little boy, Jerry. And I think like shoves him or something. Then Jerry goes and tackles him into the honey bucket. None of the adults are stopping this, by the way.
Yeah, it's just boys being boys.
Yeah.
Grundy should be pissed.
Yeah, the moment that my kid shoved the other kid, like I would have like grabbed him by the ear and been like, no, we're not doing this. But yeah, he gets shoved into the honey, and then he gets picked up by his dad. I'm assuming it's his dad. And he's trying to wipe the honey off of his ass back into the bucket.
Grundy only cares about the honey.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still gonna sell it.
To the city, though.
Oh yes, to the city slickers.
Yeah. The people here will get the good honey. The one that hasn't been.
The non-ass honey.
The non-child ass honey. As they're heading back to the farm, Granny's looking all upset. She's like, Tildy has gone missing because she was trying to feed the lamb and the lamb got out. I guess he's a Shoop. She's trying to feed the Shoop and the Shoop got out. Danny got out and she went chasing after it and Granny hasn't been able to find him. Either of them. As soon as Jerry goes booking it towards finding Danny, Tilly comes out of the woods and was like, and crying. It's like, I can't find it, Danny anywhere. She's shivering, she's cold. They're like, alright, let's take you inside. Starts pouring down rain. It's like 9:15 at night. She still has supper on the table. And the boy hasn't come back yet. So finally she's like, well, I guess I have to go look for him now. You wait until 9?
Yeah, this is why, I put earlier that Jeremiah sucks, because he's all angry at Tildy or whatever. Because she tried to feed the sheep. Grow up, Jerry, alright? And then Granny sucks too, because he runs away to look for the sheep, and the uncle's like, we should go look for him. And she's like, no. And then starts storming. There's like no likable characters in this movie. Everyone sucks.
I like Uncle Hiram.
It's just lives, though.
Yeah.
That's just a snowman in human form.
Great. What's there to not like?
He's likable, but he doesn't really do anything, right? Like,
that's what makes him likable.
That's what makes him likable.
There's no stakes for him. Like, you're not supposed to be invested in him as a character. So, like, there's no stakes in what he's doing, though.
I'm invested. I have two characters that I'm invested in. I'm invested in him, and I'm invested in the sheep. The Shoop.
And the sheep's not really doing anything either.
The Shoop is being adorable.
Yeah.
The Shoop is destroying screen doors and general stores and families, alright?
That's what Shoops do!
They destroy families?
This family was already fucked, alright?
The Shoop is breaking this family apart.
This was already a broken family.
Yeah. This boy's parents are dead.
Who do you think killed it? Another Shoop?
Another Shoop. The sheep named Jezebel, its mom. Anyway, so Granny goes out with a lantern to find him. She does find him. He, runs into her, and he's like, oh, a lantern, great, now I can continue looking for Danny. And she's like, you are freezing, it's raining, you're coming home. So, he's in bed, trying to get all warm and cozy, but he's all sad. She brings up supper for him, and is like, you didn't eat anything, you should probably eat something. And he's just there sulking. And she then proceeds to guilt trip him, because she's like, you're not concerned about the sheep. You're concerned that you're going to lose, the credibility of taking the sheep to the fair. Which is not true, because the only reason he wanted to take the sheep to the fair was so that Granny would let him keep it. So she goes on to guilt trip this kid about all he wants is, fame and fortune or whatever, and doesn't really care about the sheep, when in actuality, the only reason why he wanted fame and fortune was because he cared about the sheep. And he wanted to keep it because you little evil grandma, weren't gonna let him keep it. So she then guilts him with God and says that if you start, it's one thing going against me, but when you start going against your maker, something's wrong. It's like, alright, Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of Catholic guilt in this movie.
Oh yeah. The boy goes out again in the morning, looking for the sheep, and he does end up finding it. The sheep is covered in, burrs and stuff, and the grandma's just sitting in a rocking chair doing something or whatever. And she's like, great, you found the sheep, fantastic, looking all grumpy and stuff. So they go and take the sheep into the barn, and then Tildy comes out of the barn, yelling and crying, saying that we're not going to the county fair. Why aren't we going to the county fair? Well, Jerry said we're not going to the county fair, so Grandma goes in, and it's like, why aren't you going to the county fair? I thought you wanted to. And he's like, well, I made a promise with God that if he let me find Danny, I wouldn't go to the fair. Granny then lies.
Well, we don't
She
know
lies.
that. She could have made a God promise.
No, she says that she lies because she asked God to forgive her later on.
That's true.
Yeah. So Granny lies, and is just like, well, this sucks for you because I made I made a prayer to God that I said that if you did find that sheep, we would go to the county fair, and that was my promise, and I've known him longer than you, so I need to keep it more than you.
She is right about that, though. She has, in God promise law, she does have the better God promise, so.
Sure. And then the boy runs away to, go, clean off the sheep or something. And she, looks up to the sky, or I guess the roof of the barn. And it's just sorry.
That's where God lives, the roof of that barn.
The roof of the barn.
That's why the Catholic guilt is so strong.
So, we're going to the county fair. We get a little glimpse of, the owl singing about going to the county fair. And he has a little top hat and a cane. They're going to the county fair. Yeah, congratulations.
This whole time, I just wanted to question, what the fuck do they think this lamb's gonna win? They've not trained the lamb to do anything. It's not a particularly special or big lamb. It's just a lamb.
Well, it's not like it has to perform an agility course.
No, I get that, but it's not like most. If you have a lamb that's gonna win at a county fair, it's because the size of the lamb. But this is a pretty small lamb.
It has decent wool, I guess.
It's the cleanest lamb they show.
Correct.
But to be fair, it's really hard to keep a white sheep white.
So they're at the fair now and stuff. They're getting the lamb ready. Something that just made me chuckle a little bit. Two things. One, the grandma's hat has grapes on it. Secondly, this little girl comes in with all of this shit that I guess her uncle bought her. One of them is an Indian Native American statue thing. What would you call it?
I was really dying, so I didn't notice.
The stereotype racist statuette.
Yeah. She also has a doll in the other hand. So in one hand she has a doll, and the other hand she has a Native American statuette thing. Just some real weird things for a little girl to be holding at a fair.
But the popcorn is only 5 cents.
I saw that. Do you all remember that? Oh, kettle corn sounds so good right about now. We get to the lamb judging, and judges come up to him. They're asking all these questions to the other ones, and they're saying how all of these guys' sheep are from purebred male lambs or whatever. And when he gets to the boy is just I don't know who his daddy is, but his mom is a sheep named Jezebel. And the rest of the crowd is laughing, which fuck that crowd. By the way, I never noticed the balls on this sheep until this scene. Jesus Christ. As they move on
I
to the
didn't notice them during this scene. Damn, what are you looking at?
I didn't notice them either.
Really?
I think, Amanda, I think you got...
Your TV is a little broken.
Doing?
My TV is broken, Hannah. Thank you. They go on to, the head judge goes on to the next sheep, and Danny gets away from the boy and rams the guy in the ass who's judging. And the judge, instead of being mad, he's like, hey, what you feeding that sheep? And he's like, oatmeal mash. And the judge was like, alright, pretty sturdy. Okay.
Steroids, that's what I'm feeding them. Roiding them up.
So the judge announces the winner, and guess what, guys? They didn't win.
Because it's just a sheep. It's just a normal sheep.
I love the reason the judge gives. Insert eye roll here.
Yeah. The reason the sheep didn't win is because the sheep is a black sheep, and nobody wants black wool. But
Granny is back there I fucking told this little dumbass.
As the boy's making to leave, the judge is like, hey, don't leave just yet. You've done a good job raising that sheep. We can tell that you love it very much. sturdy, and just because it didn't come from a great background or anything, it doesn't mean that it's not a good sheep. And we want you to know that it's a good sheep. So here is your special award. It's literally
Special
just
award for losers.
it's
A
literally-
special award for Shoops and Shoops only.
So he gets a special award, a purple ribbon. And he
This
goes
thing was pink.
yeah.
It wasn't purple.
It was purple. It was purple. Hannah, that's a purple ribbon. I'm looking at it right now.
Well, it looked baby pink.
That shit is a purple ribbon.
Okay.
So, they get back to town after winning the special award. And townsfolk are all excited and happy. Yeah, we always knew the sheep could do it and stuff, even though nobody said that ever. So they get back, and Grundy, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, Grundy's like, hey, I got some watermelon and some pop in my fridge. Why don't we all have a party? And the boys,
yeah, party time.
yeah. And the boy's like, what do I do with Danny, my Shoop? And Grundy's like, bring him along. It's his party. So it shows that even the general store owner has accepted the Shoop, even though the Shoop damaged his store. And that is the end of the movie.
God, what a waste of my time.
I liked it.
I fucking hated this. This got 1 star on my rating.
Is it lower than
It's
Melody
lower
Time?
than they both have 1 star, but this is a worse 1 star. This only got 1 star because the animated segments were good. I wish they had just made an animated movie.
I like this more than I like Song of the South.
Wow,
Song
I
of
do
the South
too.
isn't hard to beat.
Yeah, that's like bottom of the barrel. This is better than Song of the South.
I like this better than The Reluctant Dragon.
We're still at the bottom.
Frankie, give me my rankings.
Well, if you like it better than The Reluctant Dragon,
Uh-huh.
that's at number 12. Right above that is Fantasia. So do you like it better than Fantasia?
Yeah.
You do? Alright. Do you like it better than Make Mine Music?
Yes.
This is absurd. Do you like it better than Melody Time?
No.
Alright, well then, fucking number 9 on the list is So Dear to My Heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's absurd.
How
You're
many
absurd.
are there total?
14.
14, okay.
It kicked Fantasia out of the top 10.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Fantasia either, but this movie sucked.
I was more invested in it than Fantasia. I did not get as bored as I got watching Fantasia during the dinosaur scene that I did for this film.
Oh.
Wait, did that make sense?
I mean, yeah, it made sense. This movie made me sick and Fantasia didn't.
Did this movie make you sick, or did you just get sick?
Well, I feel fine now. And I felt fine beforehand. And the only time I didn't feel good today was when I was watching this movie.
Maybe you just needed to poop.
No, I didn't have to. I pooped before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie just made me sick.
That's my rankings. Next Disney movie. Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Fuck yes.
I mean,
So be excited.
I'm very excited for that one because at least I know those are both shorts that I enjoy. So I'm hoping beyond hope that I can watch that and not be miserable. This has been some of the worst Disney shit I've ever watched in my life.
Well,
How'd this company survive?
you never have to watch it. Because it was good, apparently, back in the day. Frankie, if we were born in the 40s, we would have liked this, I think.
I don't think I would have.
I think you would have.
I don't think I would have. I think I had
do.
taste. I would have had taste even back then.
No,
I
don't
think I would have loved the what was the fucking staircase or the window or whatever it was fucking called. The window.
Yeah.
And hate this shit. I would have been like, man, this kid was good in the window. What the fuck's he doing in this piece of shit?
Being paid the big bucks by Disney.
I will say, when we get to Peter Pan, y'all talk shit on my favorite movie, I will shoot you both.
Hey, Amanda, we
I
gotta
won't kill you.
we do have to bring up the fact that your favorite movie, real racist.
Oh yeah, the one scene. We can talk shit about that one scene, but everything
Real
else.
racist.
Everything else. No.
There might be some. I haven't seen Peter Pan in a while, so we'll see what happens.
And I will shoot you. I won't
You
kill
gotta
you
get-
guys.
You're gonna get honest opinions from me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I want you to lie to me. If you're gonna
I'm not
upset
gonna
me,
lie.
we're
I
gonna
can't
replace
lie.
you with somebody else for that episode.
Then who's gonna edit that episode?
Still you, but you just won't have to say.
He's gonna
Whoa,
send you
well,
a 1-star letterbox review.
Let me read a 1-star letterbox review of Peter Pan right now. I'm kidding.
Do not.
I won't do that. Thank you for this,
It-
Amanda. Thanks for guiding us through.
Yeah.
I'm up next week.
You are.
What are we doing, Frankie?
We're going back to WCW. I'm gonna inflict more pain upon you, Amanda. You've inflicted pain on me. It's coming right back at you.
I don't wanna.
We're watching the October 9th, 1995 WCW Monday Nitro. We've got 4 matches on the card.
Do we have to see Ugly Butthole Head?
I don't know if he shows up at all. He does. I'm looking at some images from the episode. He does show up in a neck brace and sunglasses and a black bandana. But he doesn't wrestle.
But he still shows his ugly butthole head.
He does show his ugly butthole head. We have 4 matches. We have Sting defending the WCW United States title against the Shark. We have Mr. JL versus Sabu.
Mm-hmm.
We have Road Warrior Hawk versus Big Bubba Rogers. And in the main event, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson in a steel cage match. 2 of those matches should be good.
We get to see some funky face paint.
You do. You get some funky face paint.
A nice witch widow robe.
And you get to see Sabu. And you never know what Sabu's gonna do.
Yes, of course.
Sabu might just fucking, injure everyone in the arena. Somehow. I'm excited for Sabu. And you get to see Pepe.
Pepe.
So October 9th, 1995 Nitro. But that is next week. We are done with this week's episode. Thank you again, Amanda, for taking us through so dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Officially as of March 23rd, 2025 is officially the number 9 Disney movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That will probably change.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is number 9 right now. Let's take care of business and wrap this up. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get the notification for when a new episode is uploaded. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show, leave a rating and a review, and answer the poll question, do you think the singular for sheep should be Shoop?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, we know your answer, Hannah, and you converted Amanda quite quickly.
Yeah, it's very easy. You know why it happened? It's because you didn't like it.
Oh, okay. So just out of spite.
Yeah.
Okay. I see how it is. I see how you feel about our friendship. No matter where you're listening to the show, remember to share the show with your friends, your family, anyone you think might get some enjoyment out of the show. If you would like to send us an email with some ideas for episodes, some questions that you'd like us to answer, some thoughts, some comments, you can do so by sending us an email over to
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled HEAR.
If you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda and some funny memes created by Hannah, images from the episodes of things that we've talked about, you can see all of that over on our Instagram page, which is at
Nothing to See Here pod.
that takes care of all of the business, I think. So, saying goodbye and good night, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go watch John Cena being a nice person
I'm gonna
to
watch him be
people.
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch like those little like Make-A-Wish things where they go in with a camera.
Yeah, those are always sweet to watch.
Yeah, it makes me feel better, especially in our political environment right now.
Alright, well, enjoy those videos. Goodbye, good night. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.